بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد النبي الأمي وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين.
أيها الإخوة والأخوات، سلام الله عليكم ورحمته وبركاته، وحياكم الله جميعا حيثما كنتم، ومرحبا
And welcome all of you with the first part
في حلقات
in the Fatwa lectures in the fourth day of Ramadan.
السؤال الأول
The first question
السائل الكريم:
the brothers asked,
أن يقتدي بزوجته
can the husband follow his wife? She will be his leader if she is more memorizer of the Quran and capable of reciting.
أن تقوم
Originally, the woman should not
ولو كان
lead the
أو مثله.
man, even if it is her husband or
الشافعي
others. The Shafi'i says,
وإذا صلت المرأة
if the woman
والنساء
prayed with women and men and kids,
النساء
the
مجزئة،
woman is accepted
صلاة النساء مجزئة،
and the
صلاة
male
الرجال والصبيان
not,
والذكور غير مجزئة، لأن الله
because Allah Azza wa Jal
جعل
made
الرجال
the men
على النساء وقصرهن
not superior, but the word is
ولا يجوز أن
like
في صلاة،
leaders on the woman,
وعلى هذا جرى عمل الأمة كلها
and the woman should not be the imam in the prayer.
بأصقاعها وأمصارها. وقد روى مسلم
Muslim, he narrated that Anas ibn Malik said that the Prophet ﷺ,
خلف النبي صلى الله
that he prayed behind the Prophet ﷺ,
معه
and he had his
قال فصففت أنا
grandmother and the orphan. So he lined up with the orphan and
منفردة خلف
his grandmother behind them.
معقول الله لا صلاة لمنفرد خلف الصف.
So the Prophet ﷺ said that there is no individual in the prayer. So the woman prayed by herself in the back, and that's what he ﷺ taught us. So how could she be the leader? So it's not allowed. If she cannot be equal with them in the same line, she cannot be in front of them. Some of the scholars, they allowed in the sunnah, not on the obligatory, for the hadith of Waraqah. In the Sahih Abu Dawood, she said that the Prophet ﷺ, he came to visit her in her house, and he made a mu'adhin who will make adhan to her, and he ordered her and to lead the household. This is another hadith. When he wanted to go for Badr, Waraqah, daughter of Abdullah ibn al-Harith, as he asked him to go and make ghazw with him. She will take care of the sick. Maybe Allah will give her martyrism. So he alayhi salatu wasalam said, he would told her to stay in her house, and she will get the reward of the shahada. And she was called the martyr. He alayhi salatu wasalam, he used to honor her and visit her in her house. And he made a mu'adhin who will make adhan to her. And he was an old man. And he ordered her to lead the household, meaning to pray, because she recited the Quran. The scholars, they disputed about her household, from the woman and the little kids. Not maybe it's only for her own household, and it is maybe an individual incident that you cannot take on it. So the woman cannot be leading the prayer, whether it is obligatory or the extra prayer, and this is the saying of the majority of these scholars. Abu Thawr said, no, you cannot repeat the prayer after her. And so did Al-Mazni said. because of what's said about
أن رسول
Waraqa
الله صلى
bint
الله عليه وسلم
Abdullah ibn Had, that the Prophet, the Messenger صلى الله عليه وسلم, that he made her a mu'adhin and he ordered her to lead her household.
نعم ولنا
And we could say
جار ابن
the truth
قدامة
of Qudama,
ولنا قول النبي صلى
the
الله عليه
saying of the
وسلم
Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم,
لا
no
تؤذن
woman lead a man.
ولأنها لا تؤذن
And because she don't make adhan to the men, so she cannot lead them.
وحديث أم ورقة
And the hadith of Warqa
أذن لها أن
is she was allowed to lead her household,
كذلك رواه الدارقطني
and it was mentioned in
وهذه
Darqutni.
زيادة
And this is an addition that you need to accept,
لتعين حمل الخبر عليه لأنه
because he allowed her to lead the obligatory, because he made a mu'adhan for her.
والأذان إنما يشرع في الفرائض
And the adhan is only the obligatory, and there is no dispute that she do not lead them in
ولأن
the
تخصيص ذلك بالتراويح
and to make it tarwih, that is something that against the origins with no proof.
قدر ثبوت ذلك لأم ورقة
And it is allowed for Warqa, then it could be for her only,
لا يشرع لغيرها
because it's not allowed for other women adhan nor iqama nor leaders of the imama.
والإقامة
And Allah knows best.
أحد الناس يقول
One of the people is saying,
أحد المقيمين في مصر
someone who resides in Egypt, he buys riyals from the people who reside in from Saudi Arabia.
يحول له الفلوس
He will
بحساب أهله
exchange
ولما ينزل
for his people. When he comes from Saudi Arabia,
يأخذ الريال
he will take the
التي كانوا متفقين
the Saudi riyals.
يحول له الفلوس في وسيط هنا بياخذ الفلوس
There is one in the middle, he
هناك ياخذ الريال من البنك
take a commission.
لما يبقى ينزل السعودية هذا فيه محظور
If there's something haram in this,
له هذه المعاملة على
we
هذا
tell him the way you mentioned is not allowed, because you are selling the currency you have to hold. Because of the hadith of Ubad ibn Samit, may Allah be pleased with him, that narrated in Muslim,
الذهب بالذهب
gold with gold,
والفضة
silver with silver,
والبر بالبر والشعير بالشعير
and barley with barley,
والتمر
and dates with date, and salt with salt, equal, equal, yeah,
يدا بيد
hand to hand. If they are different,
تبيع كيف شئت
then sell any way you want. So what is the way out?
أن يعتبر الذي دفع أولا أمانة
Whatever you have paid is a trust, not a sold. Then the exchange.
يوم حضور البدلين على أساس
When they come in with the price of when they exchange.
سؤال من أحد الفضلاء
One of the brothers,
ولا
he asked this question.
يقول إن المعادلة الشائعة
He said, what is known
زكوات حسابات
to count the retirement account need to be reviewed.
بإن كما يقول
Because as he says,
إذا أردنا الزكاة
if when the zakah, when it's increased,
الزكاة عند الحول
when we do it after a year, but after a year,
هناك خسارة كبيرة
there'll be a loss,
تعيد النصاب إلى أقل قيمة
and that will take the value down
النمو
when it was increased.
أرى أن يدفع من الزكاة كثير إذ يتكرر كل سنة والخسارة لا تحصى
Because you are getting the zakah, but you're not counting the loss.
نقطة عنده
So the first point,
الربح والخسارة
the how much you make money and how much you profit, what is your loss.
الأموال ليست في ملكه
Second thing, it's not under his own ownership.
إنه يستعصر بخدمته
He could work on the services but not hold it, control it. That goes to the company that is holding the money, and he cannot eat except when he reach a certain age.
قبل الخامسة والستين
And this is before
الخامسة
65.
وقد يكون بعد 70
And after
كان
70,
يجب أن يأخذ
then
الأموال
he has to take
قانونيا،
all the money.
ويقال بأن أخذ الأموال إجباري،
And they say it is
الضابط
compulsory.
الذي يستطيع أن يخرجه، حيث لا يستطيع أن يخرج بكيفية الأموال، حيث نرجع حكومة مشددة تصل إلى
Because there's 50% penalties
المهم
if you did.
القصة
Anyway,
حين
the long story,
يقول يا إخوان
the summary.
أعيدوا
He's
النظر
saying, please do look at the formula for taking the zakah based on profit and losses.
أقول له دعني
So I tell him,
أراجع معك يا صاحب الفضيلة قواعدنا
let's tell you our rules
استوينا
that
عليها
we built our stand
في زكاة
in the
الحساب.
zakah of the retirement.
تمام الملك
First of all, you have to have complete ownership of the money. That's a condition,
القدرة على
meaning you are
حماية
capable of holding the matter
الانفراد بالتصرف
and to have the individual
وشرف الأرض عليه،
ownership to do anything you want.
بين الإنسان
And it is
يكون مطلقا
a
تصرفا
connection between the human and
عاجزا عن تصرفه.
what he has, and nobody can choose what to do with it.
وجب الزكاة بعد استقطاع الضرائب والغرامات.
The zakah has nothing to do with the profit of loss. You just look at the nisab and the amount.
إن كانت الأموال المودعة في
So
حسابات
if the money that's in the retirement, you cannot get into it except if you get the retirement age.
يدفع عنها ليست أموالا زكاة.
This is not zakah money.
فلكن تستطيع
But if you are owning it, you could get
بعد
it
استقطاع
after cutting the
كما أمكنك
whatever you can hold
حسابية
calculation after you cut the taxes and fees. That's something you have to pay zakah on.
حيازته عملية بعد استقطاع الضرائب والغرامات. ونتكلم من الناحية المحاسبية البحتة.
I'm talking about accounting formula, not telling you take it. No,
بقضية calculation، قضية
we're talking about only calculations, not you go and do it. Tell him, if I took this money right now, after all the penalties, and so how much is it that I have to pay zakah on? This is what you need to ask.
والمال الزكوي لأنه تحقق فيه بالنسبة لك تمام. لا علاقة للزكاة بربح
Again, the zakah has nothing to do with the money making profit or loss. It is about the having the minimum, and it is spent a year in there.
99 لم يبقى منها إلا مليون واحد، هذا المليون لا يزال زكوى.
If you have 100 million and you lost 99 million, you still have that million. That's the one that you need to pay the zakah on. If it reach a whole year.
في مقرأة الفجر نقرأ
In Fajr,
تنوير المقباس
we read from the book of Tanwir al-Muqbas in the explanation of Ibn Abbas. That's in the. It is something that is relied on Ibn Abbas. What do we do? Well, you read it as an explanation that is known for the previous Ibn Abbas or others. If it is for one of the scholars, not Ibn Abbas, at that time, you look in it and you put it on the standards that is known, that is correct, and anything you think is wrong, you take it back. It doesn't have to be Ibn Abbas or that it is the explanation of somebody else, of the scholars, is fine. You look at that, whether it is accepted after you put it late on the rules of Sharia, then it is okay. If I missed a rak'ah or two with the Imam, and I prayed him like that the first one, not the last two, do I have to redo my prayer? No. There's a hadith. Whatever you reach, you continue. And what you missed, you complete. What you prayed with the Imam. And what you do at the end is, and that's the correct. Wallahu alam. The qada
الأداء
to compensate for something, it is
بالنسبة
for
لنا
what you missed,
الأولتين
which
هي
is the first,
ليست
not
الأخيرتين
the last two.
فالأمر في ذلك
So it
واسع
is
لا
very
يلزمك
wide.
التقويم
You don't have
لا
to
محل لكن
recompensate what you did, but be careful in the future. Wallahu alam.
الأرجح والأقعد والأسند فما أدركتم فصلوا وما فاتكم فأتموا فما أدركته
So what you reach with the Imam, it is and it's the beginning of your prayer, and what you come with to continue, it is the end of it.
هل يجب الاشتراط في العمرة؟
Do you have to put condition in Umrah?
الوجوب لا
Is it
يجوز
required?
الاشتراط
No.
في العمرة
It's
ولا
allowed.
الاشتراط في الحج.
And in Hajj.
لا أعرف أحدا قال بالاشتراط
But nobody said the condition is a must
بوجوب الاشتراط
or it's obligatory. It is allowed.
إذا نزلت بك نازلة
So if you have a calamity or some kind of problem,
طارئ
you'll be able to be free from whatever you could not do. You're not required to slaughter.
هل يجوز تهنئة الأسرة
Can you give greetings to the family
غير المسلمين بإرسال
from
كارت
the Muslims to say Eid Mubarak or Ramadan Mubarak and ask them for guidance? Well, if there is good intention, you tell them about the Muslim days and you soften the heart for in Islam
محبة المناسبات
and to love the Muslims and you have a good intention and
ترجو أن يشرح الله بها
hoping that Allah will soften your heart.
وأن تتألف بهذا قلوبهم عليه أرجو أن كل أمر
Inshallah, there'll be
واسع كم نصاب
an area.
زكاة المال
What is the minimum for zakat al-mal?
غراما من الذهب
It's what 85 grams of gold.
قال
Some said
أقل النصابين الذهب
you take of the least gold or fidda. It's 85 of the gold.
وزوجنا الفضة 500
It's 500
جرام من الفضة لكن
gram of silver. But at the time of the Prophet ﷺ,
كان النصابان
they were almost equal. They were equal. The silver and gold were the same price almost.
أضعاف
Now it's multiplied. It's like way high.
أخذ به مجمع
So the Islamic Research Center in Egypt, they took the
معيار
gold. It is what is counted for, which is 85 grams of gold.
ومن أراد
And whomever wants to take the silver as a balance, it is okay. It is too easy on the poor and needy.
كنت أجهل وجوب
I did not know that I'm supposed to have take a shower after I have a dream.
الأمر يا ولدي
Do I have to repeat my prayers?
سؤال في بلد إسلامي
If you have that in Islamic masjid or
والقرآن يتلى
and the Quran is recited,
وهذا
well, tell him
الذي
it is known in religion.
لك أن تجهله
You should not miss it. And like you should not be excused. But anyway, because of the ignorance in this matter, it will answer. It is a requirement to have ghusl, shower after you have a dream, a sexual dream that lead to flow of the semen. And we ask Allah Azza wa Jal to take you in the best matters with Him.
عاقبة لا يثبت حكم الخطاب في حق المكلف إلا إذا بلغ
You only record of what you are known. Allah said, "Oh Allah, do not Allah forgive us for what we have forgot and we were ignorant about."
وأكد على
So I stressed,
بأن الجهالة قد
ignorance could not be an excuse in some areas. When you are in an area but there's a lot of scholars like in the Islamic countries, and the internet is available everywhere and the knowledge is everywhere.
أنا أرى أن فضاءات الإنترنت الآن تكاد تحمل صورة من صور تأويل قول النبي صلى الله
عليه
عليه
الصلاة
وسلم
والسلام.
ليبلغن هذا الأمر ما بلغ الليل والنهار حملة الإسلام
بعت له خلاص.
فإذا حكم إلى العالم بكله من الأنصاب إلى اللهم اهدنا فيمن هديت وعافنا فيمن عافيت وتولنا فيمن توليت.
بعت له.
تنزل مني قطر البول بعد
I
الوضوء
get
ويروي أن أغسل
urination like one thing
الأعضاء
after I make wudu.
والسير.
Do I have to make ghusl because or is that minor?
أصحاب الأعذار الدائمة
Well, are you from the permanent matters or is this something that just seldom happen to you and it happened to you all of a sudden?
أصحاب الأعذار
If you are with the people with the excuse,
أصحاب الأعذار الدائمة يتوضؤون لوقت
the people with the permanent problem, they make wudu only one time for each area and they don't have to make till the next period of prayer.
أما إذا كان هذا حسنا
But if this is something one time and you stress on it, then nothing wrong if you take off the guard and to take yourself out of the to safeguard yourself. We come to the conclusion of the first part. Inshallah, we'll continue at the next part. After Maghrib, subhanakallah bihamdik, ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta, astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk.